Let's begin News Center with the top story, where residents of Kimwarer area in Elgeyo-Marakwet County have expressed displeasure with President Uhuru Kenyatta's decision to cancel the construction of the 22.2 billion shillings Kimwarer mega dam project. They also poked holes on the technical team report that recommended its termination. This comes even as Gatundu lawmaker Moses Kuria demanded the resignation of Elgeyo-Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen as leader of majority in the Senate, following his comments on the same. Elvis Kosgei was there and now reports from Elgeyo-Marakwet County.
The roaring sound of Kimwarer River does not deter the angry residents living around the Kimwarer site from expressing their divergent views. The residents now want the president to retract his decision, saying the Technical Select Committee recommendation was done devoid of their input, and the team relied on unfounded information to recommend the dam cancellation.
Hiyo kamati hatukuweza kuwaona hawa wakitutembelea. Kama walikuja pengine walichificha kwa msitu. Lakini kama walikuja sehemu kwingine hatukuwaona. They never share the same story with the leadership of the area, hata wakazi wenye tulikuwa tunawangojea.
Sisi tulikuwa nadhania kwamba hii mradi itasaidia sisi kwa watoto ile wako nyumbani ile wamemaliza form 4. Sasa tunakuwa na stajabu sana. Sasa tunaambia rais naye atusaidie arudishe ikuje hii mradi iendelee kama kawaida.
The others are really going on. They should never sacrifice Kimwarer at the expense of other times to continue.
They claim the president was misled into stopping the dam construction that would have greatly improved their livelihoods.
Mtuambie ukweli. Hatuwezi kuendelea kudhulumiwa kwa muda mrefu. Tunaishi sehemu ambayo tunajua sehemu yetu ni sawa. Na kwa nini tunaambiwa ni gali? Nimesema kwamba ni forestry, sehemu kubwa, si ni ya serikali. Hiyo ni uongo. Kuna watu wanapanga mpango mwingine duni ya kutudunisha. Vile ya Prosper imepotea, hii itapotea tena.
Itakuwa ni hasara sana kwa kwetu kama wakaji na kwa serikali kwa jumla, kwa sababu pesa already zimetumika. So itakuwa ni shida sana kama hii project haitafanywa.
Elgeyo-Marakwet ward rep speaking to the media in Eaton Town termed the cancellation as a double tragedy.
We were shocked people actually knew that water is flowing upwards requires to be pumped. While since we were born, this water has been flowing downwards by the force of gravity, Mr. President. We sincerely request that you have mercy on your people.
But Gatundu lawmaker Moses Kuria demanded the resignation of Elgeyo-Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen as the leader of majority of the Senate, following his comments on the cancellation of the project. On Twitter, Murkomen had claimed that the cancellation of the dam project was part of a long-term design plan to terminate the project.
I'm asking you, Senator Murkomen, step aside. There are many people in the Senate whom we can give that privileged position. And I'm going to write to Rafa Tuju to convene a special parliamentary group meeting to discuss the utterances by Senator Murkomen and to pave the way for its removal.
The actual plan of the dam was to provide water to irrigate more than 10,000 acres of land, and over 100,000 households would have access to safe, clean drinking water, despite creating jobs and generating hydropower. Even as the Presidential Select Technical Committee indicated that the dam was overpriced, according to residents here, they now want President Uhuru Kenyatta to move with speed and intervene. Elvis Kosgei, KTN News, Kimwarer area, Elgeyo-Marakwet County.
Right, now let's talk to Alfred Omenya, who's a governance and policy expert when it comes to that decision by the president to cancel the construction of Kimwarer Dam. And he's now joining us via way of a phone. And Prof. Omenya, thank you so much for talking to us here on KTN News Center. First things first, money has been lost. Is there a possibility that the country will recover the money that has been lost when it comes to the Kimwarer Dam?
Well, I think it'll be very difficult to recover that money for the simple reason that some contracts may have been signed, and also a lot of the money have been paid to entities that are out of the country, and some of them are totally non-existent. Yes, so from where I sit, I don't see practically how how it will be, that the money will be recovered. Because I mean, the monies, especially if you're looking at the monies that have been paid to consultants, the monies that have been paid to technical people, the monies that have been paid to investors out of the country, the legal jurisdiction is such that it takes forever to be able to recover that type of money.
And Prof, many people were wondering, the president, the report that was given by the technical committee gave a report that both dams were overpriced. And so that people were wondering, why couldn't the president also go ahead and cancel the Aror Dam? Why just Kimwarer Dam?
Well, I think, first things first, I think Kimwarer was unique in the sense that it was also technically not feasible. I would imagine that is what informed the president's decision. The issue with Aror is that it was overpriced, which means that, and the team brought that one out, which basically means that you can go back to the technicals and do the bills of quantities and be able to revise that downwards. That is possible, actually. But for Kimwarer, when you're saying that the construction is not viable, then you cannot proceed with the construction because that will have devastating consequences in terms of safety and security of the people there and even for the structures that are being built. Yes, so from where I sit, I would assume that is what led to the immediate cancellation of Kimwarer because it was actually technically not viable to actually proceed with it. While Aror, the main issue would relate to the pricing within the bills of quantities that can be done again. I mean, if it's technically feasible.
All right, and Prof, there seems to the Jubilee administration, and when I talk about the Jubilee administration, technically I'm talking about the Jubilee Party, seems not to be united following the president's decision to cancel this dam. And we've seen the latest, sentiments coming from Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen questioning, why the president had to go ahead and cancel the dam project.
Yes, in fact, I was very happy with my professional colleague, Professor Maringa, on the cancellation because I know he's a very meticulous professional. I think we need to separate two things here. We need to separate technical issues and political issues. Senator Murkomen wants a dam in his village at all costs, despite the fact that already public money has been lost, and despite the fact that technical people, engineers, geologists, hydrologists, that constituted the team that looked at this piece of work have actually said that because of fault lines within that particular area, that this dam is technically not viable. I think it is totally imprudent of Senator Murkomen to conflate technical issues with political issues. For him, I think the way he's looking at it is that the dam is in his area, so it must come. And number two, look at it that corruption is immaterial, so you can actually proceed and waste billions of Kenya shillings on a project that is technically not viable. Yes, so I see the Jubilee Party using technical information to pull in different directions and to play their own politics, which is very unfortunate. I know even Kuria did not actually touch on technical issues; he was only look at it from a political perspective, which is also unfortunate. But what you're saying is that regardless of the feelings that Kieleweke and Tangatanga within Jubilee Party have, it is actually not reasonable to put huge amounts of taxpayers' money into projects that are not viable. The project actually costs almost 4-year budget for counties.
All right, Prof. But the main concern, from Kipchumba Murkomen is that when the technical committee was carrying out its investigations, its probe into the dam scandal, there are concerns that they did not even involve the general public, people who, the general public when it comes to how the dam was being conducted, how many people evicted from that land so as to pave way for the construction of the dam. And hence he says that it has denied the rightful share of national projects in deliberate act of discrimination.
And again, I would like to say that on air, that Senator Murkomen's statements are unfortunate and very stupid. The thing is that if the villagers in Kimwarer agree that the dam is technically viable, that will not make the dam technically viable. Senator Murkomen must know that there's a reason we train engineers and we train geologists and we train hydrologists and all sorts of technical people. Whether or not 1,000 or 1 million Kenyans agree that Kimwarer is viable will not be viable. In fact, the opinion is immaterial. One serious geologist working on the ground, one serious engineer working on the ground, one serious hydrologist working on the ground will be able to give you the technical viability. And when I talk about the technical viability here, honestly, it's not about people's opinion. We are talking about loads that must be carried by these dams. We are talking about the weight of water that must be resisted by the concrete. We are talking about seismic movements and fault lines. These are not matters that you leave to villagers to agree on using their senator by show of hands, by majority decisions. The things that Senator Murkomen is talking about are actually secondary when it comes to safety. For safety as in the construction industry, the first thing we have to look at is to do objective geological tests and to do objective hydrological tests and all the other tests. And the opinion of one professional there actually supersedes the opinion of millions of stupid villagers.
All right.
So Murkomen is wrong on this one. He should separate politics from technical issues.
All right.
And this has nothing to do with majoritarianism.
All right. And lastly, Prof, 4 billion shillings already paid to the contractor, that is CMC di Ravenna of Italy. And that means the country has already lost that money, because earlier on you say there's no possibility of the country, recovering that money. But there is a question that every Kenyan probably and political pundits are asking. Why did the president form the technical committee right now after all this came to the public? Why couldn't the government form the technical committee before the two projects were started?
Actually, what is happening is that this exposes Jubilee government badly in terms of how they do their projects. All their projects, by the way, from the SGR to these dams and so on. These projects are not done on technical basis. They're not done on financial viability. They're done with the sole purpose of looting the public. They're done with the sole purpose of theft. That is partly why somebody like Murkomen can have the guts of saying that a project that is totally useless technically, where a lot of money has been lost, must actually proceed. For all these projects, the key thing is to start from the feasibility and the technical feasibility. And you have people within government and the professionals that must actually be able to deal with these issues. And to me, that is one of the biggest concerns, that no proper feasibility was done for these particular projects in the first instance.
All right, thank you so much, Alfred Omenya, governance and political and policy expert, talking to us via way of phone just when it comes to that decision by the president to cancel the construction of the Kimwarer Dam and reconstruction of the